Hello everyone, welcome back to another round of testing out some 5-star rated products from Amazon. This time we're doing stuff around like organizing, cleaning, because it's that time of year. And anytime March and April come around, I just need to declutter everything. So I ordered a whole bunch of stuff. I've been testing it out over the last little while and filming for you guys sort of my experience with everything. And I'm going to share with you guys the results of everything today. So give this video a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on new videos every Saturday. You can also check out the other 5-star rated Amazon products tested videos that I've done. I will link the playlist for you guys at the end of the video. And without further ado, let's get into this. So I want to start with all of the products in the sort of cleaning category and starting with this crazy glove type thing. This is a microfiber glove that you can use both wet and dry. It's used a lot on the Amazon website for cleaning cars, but according to the sellers, it has a lot of different uses. You can use it dry on any sort of furniture. It's going to pick up and attract all of that dust and grime. And then it has the green side, which is more of what they call like a scrubby side. It's not like rough or anything like that, but it is a little bit more, it's just easier to get up anything that's stuck on. So I decided I would test it out in a variety of ways. We are in full spring cleaning mode over here, and so I cleared off the shelves in Julia's closet, and so I'm gonna try and use sort of the, I forget what they called it, like chenille? I keep wanting to call it Chanel, but that's not right. So I got my glove on, kind of feel a little bit like Cookie Monster. And I'm just gonna go up and sweep and just sort of go over this entire area and see if I pick some stuff up. Like, I'm not seeing anything, but like, I guess it's more in, did it pick up stuff up here? And like, if I go like this, is it gonna fall off? Oh, a little bit of the like bigger pieces did fall off. So now that I've swept it, I am kind of curious. So I have a little bit of cleaning stuff on this paper towel. I just want to see if I'm going to pick up a lot of extra dust. Like, is this actually cleaning, you know? All right. So far it's impressing me. I'll do the rest of the shelves now. Honestly, considering I have never really dusted up there, that's really embarrassing. This was covered in stuff like 25 minutes ago. It did not pick up much, if any, dust. So like, I mean, it's doing a good job. Obviously it's not a replacement for fully cleaning, but it did pick up a lot of the dust. On to day 2 of testing with this thing, and I'm just gonna go around. We're just gonna start dusting to show you all the really dirty spots of my house. How easy is it for blinds? Oh, that's not too bad. I actually kind of like that. That does make it go a lot quicker. It's not really picking up the stuff over here, or there's more dust that's dropping. I don't know, but like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's still there. I feel like I'm just like dusting it off instead of it attaching to the glove. Let's see if this will do anything for my incredibly do you see that? That little piece just flipped right off of the glove. Look at that. Dusting it away. But my computer is disgusting. I don't know if anyone else does this, and they just leave it and leave it and leave it until it looks like this in the light and you're like, oh, maybe I should clean it. Let's get into the little grooves there. Can I get some of the little marks off with the other side? Not really. It's still really smudgy. It still needs to be cleaned. It's a little less dusty though. So I think this was made for the car. I figured I should also probably try dusting the inside of my car. Hello, car, and all of your dust. Oh, I see why this is so great with cars. Like, you can really get into all the little like grooves and stuff. Oh, that's pretty nice. I feel like it's not attracting all of the dust as much as it did at the beginning. And I haven't been using it like a ton. Like, it should be able to hold more dust than it is. I just feel like I'm moving the dust around. Can you see it? You can see it like flying off. That's not helpful at all. Where is the static? So let's try it wet. Let's see how well it cleans like that. So for me, is this something that I would personally use in my home? Probably not, for a couple of reasons. Number one is when I was using it wet, I found it very difficult to like wring out all of the water without like getting my other hand involved. And even still with doing that, I found it to be quite wet. It was holding on to a lot of water, which is really good for cleaning cars, but not so much for cleaning countertops. I don't really want my countertops to be a pool of water. So that was a little bit annoying. I didn't find it to be any better at attracting dust than any of my other cloths. I have stuff that I would probably use first over this. Moving on to some towels. These are called Nano Towels, and they had 5 stars, not 4.5, not 4 3/4, 5 stars, and over 2,500 reviews. Like, this thing, it's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. They feel like microfiber, but they're not made of microfiber. They're made of what they call nanolin. And what's supposed to make these cloths better than any other cloth out there is that it's going to attract grime, dirt, grease, anything with just water. You don't need to use any chemicals. You don't need to use any paper towels. It's just a very environmentally friendly solution. You just throw them in the wash and then you can keep reusing them. They come in a pack of 4, which I think is great. You get a large number of them. So there were a bunch of tests that I wanted to kind of put these through to see if they would actually work. Number 1 is obviously cleaning. Does it do what it's supposed to do? Number 2 was actually washing them, because I know sometimes with these different types of materials, they wash a little bit differently. I didn't want it to get all matted and then not be able to clean well the second time. So I actually looked up the instructions, and it said that you're supposed to wash it separately in warm water. And I was like, what? I can barely wash my Lululemon pants separately. So I was reading through all the reviews, and a lot of people were saying they just threw them in with the towels, dried them on low, and everything was fine. So I wanted to test that angle. All right, let's try using this one wet, and we'll use it to clean off my countertops today. One side is definitely a lot thicker and one side is thinner. So I'm hoping this will help to like pick off things that are on the countertop, because that's definitely there. I have been using these cloths for a couple of days now, and I don't know, almost knocked my soap right into the sink. I don't know what it is about them, but they make my countertop like shiny. I found these to clean so ridiculously well, and not just like any clean. You know when, it sounds terrible. You know when you clean your kitchen and you're like, it still doesn't look clean, and then like your mom cleans the kitchen and it's like 1,000 times cleaner, and like, what did you do any differently? You literally have the same tools I do. Like, it was like a mom level of clean. Like, it was just sparkling and spotless and didn't have any, I don't know, water spots. I don't know what it was. I cleaned the outside of my stainless steel fridge with it. I cleaned my stovetop with it. I cleaned the outside of the like every surface with these cloths. It looks unbelievable. Then another thing I was noticing, I didn't see it in the actual instructions from the people who were selling the product, but I noticed it a lot in the comment section, is that people were using them on their dry Swiffer bar mop things. This is a bar mop apparently. And using these cloths instead of the disposable ones that you can buy, and attaching those to the dry Swiffer as sort of an environmentally friendly solution. I'm gonna lay it out. I'm gonna have the more, you know, microfibery side down, and it says that you can, oh yeah, oh that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, so it seems to be on. We'll see how securely, and I'm gonna go and Swiffer my floors. It's actually doing a really good job picking up like larger pieces than I had expected, which is great because my house is covered with like, you know, Rogue Cheerios on the floor. I still prefer my Dyson because I can pick up the larger and smaller pieces like around my house, but I think this is a good alternative if you like the dry Swiffer. This seems to be doing a really good job picking up a whole bunch of stuff. The only time I wouldn't use these is obviously when you need to disinfect something. So if you're using like raw meats or something like that, I would use an actual disinfectant chemical to make sure that the surfaces are nice and clean. So I wouldn't use it for that purpose, but for everyday cleaning, I think they're awesome. I was so excited about them. That's how you know you're an adult, everyone. You get excited about towels. Next up is round 2 of testing out power drills with cleaning supplies. These brushes are by the Seller Drill Brush. They come in a pack of 3 different brush heads. So they have the small one, they have a flat, larger one, as well as they call the original brush, which is more of like a rounded edge one. And they also have different bristle stiffness, if you will. So they have soft, medium, which is what I got, and they did different color coded, so you could color code them to different areas for your house, which I thought was really smart, so you're not like cross-contaminating the bathroom ones with the kitchen ones. Anywhere that you would need to get cleaned, you can basically use this as an alternative for muscle power, which we all know I am lacking. We're gonna start with the stove top. I thought that would be a good place to start because that looks absolutely disgusting. And then I thought we would try the back of these pots because I find this to be a really hard place to clean. So I'm gonna use a little baking soda and just really make this thing work. the pan is making an absolute disaster of mess, but like, wow, it's actually getting it cleaned. Like, I'm gonna have to go back over it a couple of times, but it is actually taking off that like rust around the outside. So that's good. The only thing is that it's super, super messy. So I would recommend doing this in a sink instead of out here where I now have to re-clean all of this. Wow, that really cleaned it, guys. You can see I only did half of it, but that did not take a lot of effort. Obviously it's looking a little scratched, but it's also the backside of a pan. Don't really care. And also not very strong or dedicated. Let's see what it does in the bathroom though. Next, I figured we'd test out my daughter's sink here where we brush the kids' teeth and get them all ready. And this is usually pretty disgusting. So I figured let's try out the brushes on here on different surfaces. Now we're gonna try out my daughter's bathtub because I hate cleaning bathtubs. They take forever to clean, and my kids, I don't know, this bathtub gets so dirty so quickly. So I feel like I'm constantly needing to clean it. And so if this makes it faster, that would be awesome. Next, I want to try it on this grout. It takes a long time to clean the grout usually, and I don't like to do it. So let's see if this is faster, easier, and makes any sort of a difference. Okay, so there you can see the little white spot there. This is before and after. Didn't use much like muscle to make that happen, which was really, really good. But you can see the soap has kind of sprayed out everywhere. So I don't want to do that with I usually use like a toilet bowl bleach to like whiten the grout as well. And I wouldn't use it with this particular product because I feel like it would spray everywhere and that can be super dangerous. So for me, I would only use these again, like maybe 3 or 4 times a year when I need to do a really big deep clean, when I need to clean the back of my pans, which it did an awesome job for, or I need to clean a very specific area of like my tub or something and something's just not coming off. I wouldn't do this for daily cleaning. I just found it to be quite cumbersome. It takes way too long. Like cleaning out a shower, like who has time for this? Like unless maybe you had a really grimy shower, I don't know. What I also found was missing is a really small thin brush for like detail work around those like little areas that I just couldn't get quite into. There was a little bit of an edge underneath Julia's sink, for example. I would have loved to have like a little tiny brush to get in there, and just little places where rust tends to form or anything like that. These just didn't do that. So for myself personally, 15 bucks, 2 to 3 times a year doing for like a very specific deep clean, I think they were absolutely worth it. I will be doing the rest of my pans. I will be doing like the grout, which clearly needed to get done. But I do wish they had a smaller brush, and I found that the original brush, like the rounded one, was super useless and was just spraying dirt everywhere. I just didn't like that. I just really like the flat edge ones, and I think it's worth it. Next up is a plant-based wrinkle release spray, which I found to be really interesting. It has 4.5 stars. It was super highly rated, and I don't like ironing, so I thought this was perfect. Mojito wrinkle release spray. And I do like myself a mojito. So basically, this claims that if you spray it all over your clothes, you kind of smooth it out, pull the bottom, it's going to release and relax a lot, if not all, of the wrinkles in your clothes. You don't have to pull out the iron. You don't need to throw it into the dryer again. See right here? Spray, smooth, hang, and then it's supposed to take out wrinkles. So what I did is I pulled together a whole bunch of different fabrics. So blouses, some of Chris's shirts, t-shirts, like a bunch of different things to test it out, just to see which fabrics it worked really well for and which ones it didn't. So for me, I found this to work best with any sort of blousey material. That is the one that it worked best to like release a lot of the wrinkles for. T-shirts, it was fine. You really had to spray it a couple of times through though to get most of those wrinkles out, and then it was like mostly wearable. I would say if you have a couple of wrinkled spots and you just kind of want to like release them a little bit, this will probably do the job. But if you have like a tangled mess on the floor, you might as well just wash that. It didn't really work for my jacket. I found there were still wrinkles all the way through it, and because it has those giant pockets that are open at the bottom and you can't really smooth those out in a very easy way without it sort of laying flat. It didn't really work well for that purpose, so I'm gonna have to iron that, unfortunately. So for me, it's not something I'm going to be reaching for all the time. Because I have it, I am going to test it when I need to use it, but I much prefer, I have like a little handheld steamer, like clothes steamer. I find that to work a lot better, and I know that it's gonna work versus this. It's sort of like I have to spray it and then just kind of wait and see. Now on to organizing, and I have two different elements here, both for the kitchen. Because we are doing a bunch of renovation work, I'm going to be doing a deep clutter. Wow, that sounds terrifying. A deep clean and declutter of the kitchen, which I'll share with you guys once I get around to doing it. But with both of these projects coming up, I wanted to get a head start on it, test out a bunch of different ways, and just see how I wanted to organize the elements that I do have in my kitchen and that I do use quite regularly. Today we are going to be organizing these disastrous drawers. Oh, I've been meaning to do this for a while, and this seemed like a perfect opportunity. So I got some drawer dividers. These were really highly rated, and a lot of people really love them. Plus, they're just really pretty. So we're gonna test that out and see if they actually do the job. They stay put and will keep me organized. Pulled out some kitchen towels that are clean. So I'm gonna put everything out on here and then start organizing them depending on what type and how often we use them. Turns out I need way more towel than I initially thought. Wow. Might also do declutter in the process of doing this. Now I'm gonna clean out the drawers and let Chris kind of pick and choose, because he does most of the cooking, which items he wants to keep and which ones he wants to donate. So this is what the drawer divider looks like. You can see it has a little bit of like a grippy thing at the one end, and then it adjusts like this on like a spring. I gotta say, I had a really good experience with them. You can see the before and after here. They have not budged. They come with a set of 4 per package, which is great. So you get a lot of them. They're nice and sturdy. They don't slide around in the drawer, which is awesome. They're nice and tall too, which is amazing, so that if you have deeper drawers, they're actually gonna hold some stuff in it. I really like them. The drawer dividers, awesome. Now on to the Umbra Pegboard System. This caught my eye and I thought was really cool. 4.5 stars again, and it's something that you can use to either organize pots and pans or lids or Tupperware, which is what I wanted to end up using it for. And you have all these different pegs that you can poke into a variety of different holes across the system to create these nice little nesting spots for your Tupperware so it doesn't slide all over the place or end up as a big congealed mess, which is what mine do. I'll show you guys the before. They're not that bad, but I do want to come up with a system that's just gonna make them more organized long-term, and I thought this one looked really interesting. You can see with the Tupperwares, we did attempt some organizing. Like you can see at the back here, like we really did try, but just got a little bit out of control. So I bought this for the Tupperwares, but then I saw this and I was like, well, let's try it out for all of these pots and pans too. So we're gonna start pulling everything out and see how customizable it is, how strong each of these little pegs are, and I don't know, how adaptable it is, how usable it is. So I've cleaned up both the drawers now. I know they don't look super clean, but they're just stained. And then I have all the Tupperware here, all the different types of Tupperware that we use, and now it looks like there is a little bit of assembly required here. So there are these little black things. I guess these are going to kind of keep them in place. And I think I'm going to first apply it and see how it looks with the pots and pans, and then do the Tupperware, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably going to keep it with all the Tupperware. All right, well that makes my decision much easier. You can see that they clearly used 2 sets of these container organizers. So this is just the one set, kind of put together without the pegs on top. But that in and of itself would organize, like, you see what I'm saying? So I would need 2 to make this work. Just a heads up, if this does actually work, you will need more than you think. So what I guess I want to see how it works is with the lids, because that's the part that I dislike the most about our current organization with it. So let's put in some pegs and see if they hold up the lids properly in these drawers. All right, I've been fiddling with this for a while. This is the one way I found to actually work, is offsetting the pegs. That makes it easier to work, because when they're all in a row, all of the handles kind of hook under each other, and it makes it really hard to get them out. It does look really pretty, as you can see on here. It's not the easiest, and it keeps knocking all the other lids out of the way, and it's just, I don't know, it's not just the most practical use for these, I think. It does look a lot prettier though, I'll tell you that. So let's try it now for the Tupperware. That was a lot of work. So here's where we stand. So I ordered another one of these pegboards. I'll show you guys the picture that I looked at before I bought this. So I was like, oh, those are basically my drawers. Perfect, it'll fit. But they actually had 2 systems in it, not just one. So for this, I found that I actually need more pegs than I currently have available. Now, if you look at the picture, they didn't organize as many different types as I'm attempting to. Is this like 5 different sizes, and they have 4? Okay, it's not that different, but 4 different lid sizes versus 2 different lid sizes. Like, it does add up. Amazon says it'll get here tomorrow, so the magic of editing. And here we go, set number 2. All right, I've been fiddling with this for a while. We need to talk about the system. So first of all, I want to talk about the plastic versus the glass. Glass, for whatever reason, I think because it sits so nicely and it's in very defined forms, I felt like I don't need to put pegs in. They all kind of sit by themselves. They're glass. I'm a little bit more careful with them. These guys, though, just proving my point, go everywhere. So I like the fact that they're kind of in their own little corrals. That's kind of nice. But honestly, this is just not a very usable system. Like, I feel like if you have more than 2 types of Tupperware, like this person, who is this person? They don't need any organization system. Like, this is just not gonna work, and I feel like most humans have more than 1 type of Tupperware. And so you can see, like, even I tried to organize the lids the way that they did on the package here and kind of organize them and separate them by size. But I feel like as soon as you start taking any of them out, they're all gonna start falling over and falling out. Then you need something over on this side to hold them in that way. Like, it's not super usable. Honestly, I wish I liked this. I wanted to like it so bad. The pegs were really tough to get in and out, which I found super annoying, and I get why you don't want them to slide in and out all the time when you're trying to take things out, but it was annoying to try and play Tetris to kind of find a way that would make it work. What I would have preferred to have is have a couple of pegs, but then also have a couple of boards, like short little 2 or 4 boards, so you can kind of like plank a couple in as well. Does anyone have just like 1 Tupperware system? Because I need to find you. We need to have a talk, because what are you doing with your life and why is it so great? What are some Amazon products that you guys have been loving? Leave me a comment down below. I want to know what you guys have been loving, whether it's really highly rated or maybe it's poorly rated and you just love it anyway. I want to know. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on new videos here every single Saturday, except for last Saturday, but that's because I was sick. I'm very excited about all the renovation work. I have a bunch of new like testing out stuff videos planned that I'm very, very excited about. If you have any requests, leave them in the comment section below this video, and make sure you follow me on Instagram if you want any sort of like behind the scenes on some of the videos that I'm working on, as well as any of the renovation projects. You can go and check me out over there at RachhLoves. Make sure you check out the videos on the side in case you have missed any, and that is everything. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you all. Mwah.